All right, let's dive into a T20 thriller from Lahore. We're breaking down how Pakistan's clash with Australia kicked off with pure chaos and then finished with a tactical masterclass.
I mean, you literally couldn't write a more dramatic start to a match. Pakistan wins the toss, they choose to bat in front of a packed home crowd, and their whole plan just goes up in smoke. The very first delivery of the entire series sets the stage for a crisis.
So, opener Saibzada Farhan walks out to the middle, ready to get things going for Pakistan. He's going to face just one single ball.
And that's it. Gone for a duck on the very first ball. For Australia, it's an absolute dream start. For Pakistan, a complete nightmare. The whole stadium just went silent.
But somehow, Pakistan found an answer. They did it with a brilliant counterattack. This one partnership just completely flipped the script. In only 32 balls, they smashed 50 runs, snatched all the momentum back from Australia, and basically told everyone, hey, we're still in this fight. This was the real turning point. And these two were the architects of that comeback. On one side, you had Saim Ayub, who was just pure fireworks, scoring 40 runs at a crazy strike rate of 182. Then you had the captain, Saman Agha, who anchored the recovery with sheer power, launching 4 massive sixes. Together, they didn't just steady the ship, they built a whole new foundation. So thanks to that partnership and a few other key hits down the order, Pakistan managed to post 168. Coming from the disaster of that first ball, this was a seriously competitive total. It was game on.
Okay, so now it's Australia's turn, and chasing 169 is always a bit tricky. You need a good start, for sure, but you also have to control those middle overs. Look, Australia had guys who got in. Cameron Green was their top scorer. Xavier Bartlett gave them a nice little boost at the end. But notice something? No one went on to make that big, game-changing 50.
And that right there was the real problem for the Aussies. Every single time it looked like they were getting some momentum, Pakistan would strike. They just couldn't put together that one big partnership like Ayub and Agha did, and losing wickets at the worst possible times completely threw their chase off track. So how'd Pakistan pull it off? Well, their bowling was just brilliant. It was like they followed a simple 3-step plan. First, they broke up partnerships before they could become a real threat. Second, they used their spinners to apply the squeeze in the middle overs, a classic T20 move to slow things down and force mistakes. And third, they were flawless at the death. Those last few overs where the pressure is insane, and they just gave away nothing.
So when you really break it all down, this win wasn't about 1 or 2 big moments. It was a story of a gutsy batting comeback, followed by a super clinical team-wide bowling performance.
But here's where it gets really interesting. A little twist. Even though Pakistan's bowlers won them the game as a team, the single best bowler on the night was actually an Australian. I mean, just look at this contrast. It's pretty stark. Adam Zampa was incredible for Australia, grabbing 4 wickets and just ripping through Pakistan's middle order. But on the other side, it wasn't about one hero for Pakistan, it was about everyone doing their job. And this quote from the match report just nails it. It wasn't about flashy stats, it was about a clinical performance, especially in those final high-pressure overs. That's where they really choked off the chase and locked down the win. And in the end, the difference was 22 runs. That's a pretty comfortable margin, and it really shows you how much control Pakistan had in the final stages of the game. So, with that win, Pakistan takes a 1-0 lead. They've drawn first blood in this 3-match contest, and they've defended their home turf. And that really leaves us with this final thought. We've seen 2 totally different approaches here, right? Pakistan's disciplined, team-first strategy versus Australia's individual brilliance and raw firepower. So with the momentum now on the home side, the rest of this series is shaping up to be a fascinating clash of styles. We'll just have to wait and see which one comes out on top.